My name is Katz Maihi. I'm also known as Katz Maihi. The whakairo for Waipapa Marae needed to be replaced because it was probably 40 something years since they were put up. So there was a decision made by the Marae people that we need to probably look at redoing them. So yeah, that's the reason. And 40 years is pretty much standard time of life before you need to have a good look at them. So the replication of these carvings for Waipapa Marae and for the whare tāne Nuiarangi, we had to utilise photography as the method of allowing us to sort of replicate, because we couldn't take the carvings down because the whare needed to be in operation for the many different take that happens on the marae. Because usually we take the carvings off, place them next to us, and then we carve directly with them next to us. That allows for easy sort of crossing over and just checking that we're close. This experience was totally different. We had to get a drone to take shots, and then within that drone's movement, then we isolated images so that we could replace them onto the, to the carving, onto the wood. This is the first time I've done it in this manner, so it was an experience. There was a lot of anxieties around how close are we? How close are we going to get it to these carvings? We did our best. I think people will see, oh, gee, that's not too far off. There's subtle differences because, these are obviously man-made things and they're not just like a machine that make them, so it's not going to be exact. This marae stood here for 40 plus years, under the name of Tāne Nuiarangi. You can't change the narrative for these types of maraes, or any marae. You need to try and keep it as close as you can. The whole sort of carving process, it took us about 9 months. We gave ourselves that time because we're also working with the time constraints of the university. They needed the maraes open for graduations and all stuff like that. So we had a time frame to work to, and luckily enough, I've got a good team that can manage our workload within the 9 months. So we've done it, and we're here, installing it. So it's great. With the relationship between my iwi Ngāti Whātua and the university, the kōtuitanga, that we have with them, I sort of, considered that, and I didn't see any sort of relevant reflection of that in the originals. So the amua are carved in our style, in the Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei style, just to reference, the mana whenua connection here. They're on the amo, which are the waiwai of te whare, So for me it was about, letting people know that, Ngāti Whātua's feet are firmly placed in this whenua. As everyone sort of knows, there may be some resistance around it, but my intentions were not to be disrespectful to anyone, but just to show that we are here. Yeah. So that would probably be the only sort of difference. Is the two amu. Everything else was replicated pretty much bang on, or as close as we could get it. I wasn't here on the burial day, but I seen photos of the moments that was happening, and they were given a good bed, to rest, just like we do with our two pāpaku, And we consider them in that manner because they are carvings about the old people or the tikanga and the kōrero of Ornehera. So we utilise that tikanga of proper burial, karakia, and then leave them. Yeah, when it comes to the installation, a lot of it is about practicality. The tikanga is based on practicality. Usually we put the paipai, the amo, then the maihi, and then the kōrero goes on last. It's the head of the building. So we like to put that on last. That's sort of like the masterpiece. That's when you're sort of giving life to the whare. For installation, generally, we're only working with the front of the house, so that's 7 pieces. So it should take, 2 to 3 days. There's a couple of setup processes that we have to do to before we can place them on the building, and that takes a lot of thinking, and that's why we get into the carpenters, because I'm not a carpenter, but we're around to help them, because they want us to talk to them about how do we treat the carving, how do we, do we stand over it, do we stand on it, can we, so we have to be there to guide them and just remind them, this is still not a tapu, but it still has a mauri, and you have to understand how that works, and they're really good, these guys that we're working with. I don't know about the timing, but currently they're trying to put on the one Maihi. As soon as we get one up, the other one should be, they have dealt with the bad experiences, and then by the next one we should be just boom, boom, boom. Hopefully they should have everything done today, then we should be covering them for the huraina, which is possibly our popo. Yeah. So usually we put them up, cover them, and then wait for the blessing to reveal to everyone.